Everything you learned about being a strong, independent woman, it might be killing your attraction. I'm Laura Doyle, and today I'm showing you how to be 10 times more attractive without changing a single thing about how you look, and why the very thing you think makes you weak is actually your superpower. If you're exhausted from managing everything and wondering why you're not close anymore, this is going to change everything. Welcome to the Empowered Wife podcast. I'm Laura Doyle. As a young adult, it made me angry when someone implied that men and women are different because that showed they were prejudiced. I saw that as the old, unenlightened thinking, and I smugly believed I knew the truth. Everyone is the same, regardless of gender. I knew how to be assertive and speak up for my rights and correct others for their backward thinking. I was charming like that. But I didn't know how to be feminine or even recognize my own astonishing power as a woman. And looking back, I feel sad for that clueless younger version of me. I was so hopelessly ignorant of the valuable contributions that I bring to my relationship and to the world as a woman that I tried to avoid seeming feminine. I equated femininity with weakness. I was afraid my gifts were repulsive. And now that I know what it looks like to be feminine, I find there's such ease and dignity and comfort in it. What a relief. I feel good in my skin when I'm my feminine self. And when I say feminine, I don't mean manipulative or overtly sexual. I'm talking about honoring my feminine spirit, which I'll explain. Learning how to be feminine rocked my relationship and my world in the best way I can imagine. There are no clothes, makeup, or plastic surgery that can come close to having the irresistible magnetism of the feminine spirit in a woman. Tapping into your own feminine gifts makes you 10 times more attractive. But before I show you how, I want to talk about the thing that keeps most women stuck trying to be masculine when they really want to be feminine. You've probably heard that in order to have a healthy romantic relationship, you have to set boundaries, like a country with barbed wire fences and guards with guns. This is the worst relationship advice I keep hearing. And here's why it's got me fit to be tied. Okay. Boundaries only seem like a good idea when you're feeling hurt and angry with your man. And at that point, the boundaries come out like, fine, you can make your own dinner then. Or boundaries are about setting up the rules forever and ever. Like, from now on, I will not be including your pants when I do the laundry because you left a pen in your pocket. In other words, they're not so much about saying, here's where I end and you begin. They're more like not so subtle ways to tell him he should go to hell. Those boundaries are not that great for intimacy, in my experience. That kind of boundary will leave you lonely. And as a mere mortal woman, you're going to have limits to your energy. And it's always a good idea to acknowledge those limits in a dignified way. But that can feel vulnerable. Acknowledging you're at your limit on energy or patience, as in, I can't make dinner tonight, that can be very conducive to intimacy. Calmly saying, I can't do laundry or I can't do your laundry could be a great way to preserve the intimacy in your relationship and honor yourself if they're vulnerable, honest messages. Now, you might be thinking, but Laura, those are boundaries. That's what they are, acknowledging your limits. Maybe so, but that's not how I see them being used by the women who arrive in our community, struggling to figure out why her man doesn't seem to care about her boundaries. So maybe there's just a big misunderstanding about what boundaries are. I often hear about boundaries being expressed in anger with no vulnerability. And since vulnerability is what creates the fascination that leads to lifelong commitment and causes my husband to like fly across the room to give me a hug, I can't imagine myself ever wanting to set a boundary as I see them being used. Now, in my experience, vulnerability is going to serve the intimacy and inspire him to reassure me, to help me and love me far more than telling him where to stick it when I'm hurt or angry. I've tried both. And although it's much scarier, I prefer the vulnerable approach. So here's the truth: boundaries are about control, and control is the opposite of intimacy. If you want to be more attractive, more magnetic, more feminine, you don't need better boundaries. You need something completely different. And here it is: receptivity is the essence of femininity. I'm going to repeat that just to make sure you didn't miss it. Okay. It's the key to blowing wide open the whole mystery of how to be feminine. Receptivity is the essence of femininity. To be more feminine, be more receptive. Here's how: consider receiving gifts, compliments, and help and apologies graciously. Consider receiving them graciously. That means if your husband says you look cute when you have bed hair, you just say thank you and nothing else. No need to explain that your hair is a mess. He has eyes too, and he doesn't seem to think that matters. So just receive. It means that if a coworker says, "Do you want some help moving the chairs back?" and you feel guilty because it's your responsibility, you still smile and say only, "Thank you." Receiving graciously also means that if someone, like your man, a friend, a coworker, offers you a present, you receive that too. Hannah decided to activate her feminine gifts when her new boyfriend, Sam, offered to repair her dilapidated car at his shop. And so she agreed to this, even though she was afraid that she would owe him something in return. He also wanted her to drive his expensive luxury car in the meantime while he was working on her car, which was so generous, it made her really uncomfortable. And on top of that, he surprised her by putting new tires on her car for free. So it was all Hannah could stand to let him give her so much. She was nervous because she wasn't used to such generosity, but she was determined to experiment with being feminine by being receptive. So she thanked Sam and let him know how happy he made her by fixing her car and putting on new tires. Instead of demanding something in return, Sam was happy and proud that he'd been able to help her so much. He seemed intent to find his next mission in service of bettering her life so he could make her beam with happiness again. So she got to feel special and have a roadworthy car, and he got to feel like her hero. Win win. Now imagine if she had said, "Oh, you don't have to do that," and missed the chance to receive. She would have cheated herself out of the special treatment he wanted to give her, and he would have missed out on feeling proud and heroic. Lose lose. Women are built to receive. Think of your body as a metaphor. When it comes to sex, you're built to receive. So is your spirit. Men are fundamentally attracted to the feminine. So the more receptive you are, the more feminine you'll be. The more feminine you are, the more attractive you'll be. But it's not always easy. It wasn't for me at first. I found it nearly impossible to be receptive at times. So I rejected lots of gifts, compliments, and help. And I always had my reasons. I always had my reasons. I thought that I would owe a debt, but that's not possible. By definition, gifts are free. Same with compliments and offers to help. Sometimes I was trying to prove I could pull my own weight. Other times I had another agenda. I didn't want my husband to buy me flowers because it was a waste of money. I wanted to save money. Or I felt undeserving, if I'm honest, and vulnerable. But each time I rejected what was offered to make my life easier and more pleasant, I missed a chance to feel special, to get special treatment. I missed the chance to feel intimate with the person who was trying to lighten my load or delight me, especially my husband. Poor receiving made me less attractive. When my husband discovered he couldn't make my life sweeter and easier with his efforts because I rejected them for whatever reason, the intimacy suffered. Today, My priority is to have the intimacy, to choose to be feminine above my other silly reasons for not receiving. I have pretty good receiving muscles now that I've been practicing. You can start practicing too. If a man offers to put your bag in the overhead compartment on a plane, say thank you. If the bagger at the grocery store offers to help you out to the car, consider saying thank you. If your husband offers to change the comforter cover and you're afraid he's going to put it on sideways, say only thank you. If he says you're beautiful on a day when you don't feel beautiful, accept his point of view and honor your feminine spirit by saying only, you guessed it, thank you. There's nothing more feminine than knowing you deserve to be admired, helped, and adored. If you want the complete step by step roadmap to becoming more feminine, magnetic, and irresistible so you feel desired and taken care of and special again, grab the Empowered Wife book or audiobook. It's where I walk you through all 6 intimacy skills in detail with real stories from women who transform their marriages using these principles. You deserve to feel adored, and the book shows you exactly how to get there. The link is in the description below.